In the meantime, the Ministry of Health has listed some symptoms that everyone should look out for while advising restriction of unusual congregation. The Ministry of Health advises regular and thoroughly washing of hands with soap and water and use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Maintain at least 1.5 meters distance between yourself and anyone who is coughing or sneezing. Persons with persistent cough or sneezing should stay home or keep a social distance but not mix in crowd. Make sure you and people around you follow good respiratory hygiene, meaning cover your mouth and nose with a tissue or into your sleeve at the bent elbow or tissue when you cough or sneeze. Then dispose of the used tissue immediately. Stay home if you feel unwell with symptoms like fever, cough and difficulty in breathing. Please call NCDC toll-free number, which is available day and night for guidance. The number to call is 0800 970 00010. People are advised not to engage in self-medication. Meanwhile, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has ordered the repatriation of some 132 South Africans living in China's Wuhan city. That's the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak. The president's office said the decision was announced after requests from families of South Africans living in the city. No time frame for the repatriation was given, but the government says the 132 citizens out of a total of 199 South Africans living there have put in requests to be returned home. None of them has been diagnosed with the virus or exhibited any symptom of the disease, but they will be quarantined for 21 days upon arrival in South Africa as a precautionary measure. Even as South Africa plans to repatriate its citizens from Wuhan, 2 South African nationals working aboard a cruise ship quarantined at sea have contracted coronavirus. Japanese officials say the 2 patients were not outwardly displaying symptoms of the virus, but were being treated in Japan. South Africa's authorities said in a statement that the vessel had at least 3,700 people on board. 10 other South African crew members are still on board the Diamond Princess cruise ship and won't be allowed to disembark until they pass a 2-week quarantine period and test negative for the virus. Channels TV's South Africa Bureau Chief Betty Dibia joins us now to discuss more on this. Hello, Betty. What are the plans in place to repatriate citizens from Wuhan? As you know, we're getting more and more details about the coronavirus outbreak.
Thank you for having me. Well, from the statement released by the presidential spokesperson, Kusela Diko, there is no date yet as to when there will be the evacuation, but the cabinet has agreed. You know, the government has been quite reluctant to do that, especially for fear of importation of the virus or those who have been exposed to the virus. But plans are underway, and the government states it clearly that none of those people who are being brought back home following requests by family members who are actually worried. You recall Wuhan has been on lockdown for about a month or more now, so many people have been reaching out to their family members and pleading with the government to get them back home. So the plan is this: when they will return to the country at the time government will announce later, they will be isolated for 21 days as a precautionary measure. And the government has stated clearly that none of those people has tested positive, of the coronavirus. Now, from the consolidated list of the DIRCO, that's the Department for International Relations and Cooperation, you have 199 people from South Africa in Wuhan, but only 132 have indicated their willingness or their desire to be repatriated to the country. So what is going to happen is they will be brought back into the country, isolated for 21 days as a precautionary measure, and to reduce any possibility of spread if, for any reason, any of them who at this point none has tested positive. And they will deploy, there's a number of big facilities that have already been dedicated all along since this virus came to light, and all countries have been working with the WHO to contain it and take it away. So these people will be isolated for 21 days. I doubt if the family members will be able to reach them physically, but I guess for the family members, there will be some relief that they're within reach and they're on home soil. So the defense forces and all the health departments will be deployed to help in the different ways, including home affairs, including the health department, as I said, so to assist in any way to ensure that they get the all clear before they're exposed into the society. Of course, these people are different from the two South Africans who I think have tested positive. That's in Japan, and they've been isolated. They're being treated. I think they were working on a cruise ship. So these ones are different. But those coming in from Wuhan, 199 in Wuhan on lockdown for about a month, but only 132 have indicated their willingness to return home or their desire to return home, and they will be evacuated, and more details will be out later.
All right, then, Betty, thanks for bringing us up to speed. Our South Africa Bureau Chief, Betty Dubia, just filling us on the details of South Africa's plans to repatriate its citizens from China's Wuhan. Well, still to come on the programme. Our Africa Tech segment takes a look at Nigeria's tech economy. We'll bring you details. Stay with us.